Hi friends, welcome to Wallflower Confessions DIY. Thanks for joining. Today we will be making tiered trays. For this first project we will need the Dollar Tree leather, 2 bamboo cutting boards, some thumbnail push pins, some copper paint, Waverly antique wax, black spray paint, and copper spray paint. You will also need this basket that you can get at Dollar Tree as well. So you'll start out by spray painting them. I did black and then the metallic spray paint over it. And then for the bamboo cutting boards, I spray them with water and then brush them with the Waverly antique wax. This helps it to absorb the wax, but also adding the water makes it a little bit of a lighter color. So you'll want to brush that all over on the top and on all the sides. And you'll do that for both of them. You don't need to do the bottom part, just the top and the sides. And then after you coat it, then you'll just wipe it off with the paper towels. And then you'll repeat it for the second one. Here I am taking my little wire clippers and clipping the pin part off of the push pins, the 4 push pins. And then I am taking the copper paint and just painting the nail heads for all 4 of them. Then you need to take the black roll of black leather and unroll it, and I took my Cricut paper cutter so that I could cut a straight line, and I think I did about 1 inch long or 1 inch wide, and I cut that all the way, and then I just took that and cut it in half to make 2 pieces. And then the back side of the leather is a lighter color, so I just went ahead and got my black paint and just painted over it to make it kind of match the front side of the leather. And then you will want to take the one piece of the leather, and you're going to make kind of a U shape and put it over the top of the basket there, and then around and under the bottom. And then as you can see there on the very top of the basket, you put a little bit of hot glue, and then you stick the leather down, and you'll just hold that until that sets, which it shouldn't take long. And then, oh, I'm re-gluing there. And then you'll want to bring that whole thing up and fold it over, and where it folds over on top of that top where you just glued it, you're going to do another little dot of glue and then press that, and that makes the little handle look. And you will just want to repeat the process on the other side. And then those push pins that we painted the copper color, you will just want to hot glue them on each side of the leather straps there, and it makes it look like it is kind of nailed into the leather. And then all you have to do is just place the bamboo cutting boards right in there at the bottom, and it fits perfectly. You don't need to glue it or anything, just set it right down, and then you're done. And here it is, all done and decorated, and I love it. I think this would look good in your living room displayed, or I also think it would really look good on a bathroom counter. For this next project, you just need 4 of the Dollar Tree canvases, those paint sticks, I believe I got them at Lowe's, some black paint, and the Waverly antique wax. Alright, for this you'll want to take off all of the canvas off the frames. I use a little scraping tool and some needle nose pliers. Some of them come up really easily, as you can see, and some of them are a little more difficult. So then that's when you want to have those pliers on hand so you can pull them out. So you'll just proceed with taking all 4 of them off. As you can see here, all the staples are out, and I am taking the canvas off each of them. And then you will want to take your black paint, or you could do white or whatever color you'd like, but whichever color you choose, you'll just want to paint all sides of all 4 of these frames. Next, you'll want to take the stir sticks, and you'll want to put them underneath your frame and mark, so you have the measurement of the whole width of the frame. And then I took my miter shears, and I tried to cut it and I was not strong enough, so you see me struggling. And basically what it did is it scored it. So I scored it on each side, and then I took my scissors and I was able to cut it very easily. So I actually think that helped prevent it from splitting, because sometimes just cutting it with scissors will cause them to split. So I didn't have any issues with splitting, so I'm going to use that method from now on. Then you want to take that and use that as a template to mark the rest of the sticks. And once you have them all cut, you'll want to take the Waverly Antique Wax and just paint all the sticks. This is the bottom tier, so you will just need to paint the top and all the sides, but you do not have to paint the bottom of them. So just the process of painting them all, and then you'll wipe the excess off with a paper towel. Up and make them all even. And then I used wood glue. I wanted this to be pretty sturdy, so I just grabbed my wood glue and then I started putting that down on the frame and setting the sticks on it one by one. And I did take my clamps they are from Dollar Tree, and I clamped each of the sticks on there so that it created a tight bond. I added 2 additional stir sticks or popsicle sticks to the bottom, perpendicular to the ones going across, and that just makes it a little bit more sturdy for, if I were to put a little bit heavier objects on the tray. Give that time to dry, that wood glue to dry, and I took the clamps off, and then now I am gluing the 2 side pieces to that bottom tray. So as you can see, I set the side piece on the bottom, and then I clamped or glued the bottom onto that and then clamped that. And then the second side piece, I used wood glue, and I glued that along the side and clamped that as well. And then you want to give that plenty of time to dry. You want it to have a good bond before you take those clamps off. That has dried, then you want to take the clamps off, and then we will work on gluing the top piece. So as you can see, it's still an empty frame, and so all you have to do is set it right on the inside of the top there, and then you're going to glue along each side and clamp it, and then you will want to let that dry. That top glue is drying, then I started working on the boards for the top piece there. So again, you're going to lay the popsicle stick on top, and you're going to mark the sides there. And I did the same process of the miter shears, scoring, and then using scissors to cut, and then you stain them just the same as the other one. The only difference is you are going to, because this is on the top and you can see the bottom, you'll want to paint the top, sides, and bottom of these sticks. So you'll use that Waverly Antique Wax, paint all sides of it, and then use the paper towels to wipe that off. Now once the top frame there is dry, then you'll take the clamps off, and then you will start gluing the popsicle sticks on one by one, just like you did on the bottom. dry, you take the clamps off and you are all done. Here it is. What do you think? I love it so much. All right, for this final project, you only need actually 2 of those metal trays, and then you'll want the hammered copper and black spray paint. My recommendation would be to spray paint it black first, and then the hammered copper on top of that, and that will give you kind of this end result here. And then you're going to need 2 of the shower caddies and 1 Hot Wheel track. So with the shower caddy, underneath the first little shelf there, I took my my pliers and some wire cutters, and I just kind of tried to score right under there. And then ultimately I was able to then use my miter shears to snap that. So you just need basically the hanger part and the first shelf. And so you'll want to do that for both of them. And then the top part of the shower caddy actually fits. It squeezes right into the Hot Wheel track there. So I used super glue. I used the gel super glue, and I kind of put it under the sides and then all over. And ultimately that did not work. So I would recommend using just the regular super glue. But the next step of the process, I took one of my square wood blocks and I glued that right in the middle, and that's going to be kind of where one of those trays kind of sets on that. So that's the purpose of that. Now again, I did that with the super glue. I did it on both sides, and I let it dry, and here I'm bending it to see if it's working, and I thought it was working, and then it snapped off. So I ended up using a lot of hot glue. So I do think the super glue helps, but it is going to require a lot of hot glue to get that to finally stay. Okay, and then on the kind of the shelf portion there, you're going to take 2 of those jumbo popsicle sticks, and with hot glue, you're going to want to glue them down. So you'll put the glue on the wire ends there, and then the popsicle sticks on top, and then just press it down. And again, that is another spot where the trays are going to rest. So then I took my my wood beads, and you just need 4 of them, and you're going to put those at the bottom of the caddies there. There should be just a little bit of wire sticking out. You'll want to put glue in the holes, and then you kind of stick that little bit of wire in there and let that set for a little bit, and those will be the feet for the tiered tray. So you'll want to do that for all 4 of the feet, the 2 on this side and then the 2 on the other side. And as an extra little decorative touch, I took my half wood beads and I glued that on the outside of the track, basically on the opposite side of the wood square piece, and it also covers the little hole that's there. So you'll want to glue that on both sides, and then you can take the whole thing outside and spray paint everything black. While the spray paint is out there and drying, I came back in and I did a layer of Mod Podge all over both the trays. Since I'm going to be setting stuff on it and it's metal, paint on metal tends to nick, I wanted to protect my surface there. So here I have everything inside that is dried and spray painted black, and we need to start gluing the trays onto the platform there. So I took some super glue right in the middle on the popsicle sticks and on the middle of the wire, and then I took hot glue on either side of the super glue. So the hot glue does the immediate bond and the super glue does the long-lasting bond. And I press one side down and let that hot glue set, and then I add the hot glue to the other side and press and hold that down to set. And then you'll want to begin working on the top. So it's a little bit out of frame here, but you're basically resting the tray on those wood square pieces that were glued on. And you're going to put some, just a dab of super glue and then hot glue on those wood pieces, and then you're gonna set the tray on it, and you hold it until that glue sets. And then you're going to want to tip it over, and you're going to want to add a lot of hot glue around that as well to have a good solid bond. And then finally, on the half wood beads on the side, I took my copper paint and I just painted that. And you want to do it on both sides, and that is it. This was a struggle, but it turned out so good. I am so happy I stuck with it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And here is everything. Let me know which one is your favorite. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to watch this video. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks.